it's great to have that big long-term goal, but like, what is it in the next 90 days? What are you going to do to take steps in that direction in the next 90 days?
Welcome to the Achieve Today podcast, where you will learn valuable insights, tips that work, and expert advice on how to overcome your limiting beliefs and achieve your best life ever, not tomorrow, not the next day, but today. My name is Jake Mix, and I am your host for this week's episode, where we will be talking about goal setting. And to have someone that can lead us, guide us in that direction, help us answer some of these questions, we have Coach Dana with us.
Hi.
Who's been with us for how long? About three months?
Yeah, since July.
Since July. Okay, so she's been with Achieve Today since July, but she has had 10 plus years of coaching experience, especially in goal setting. One of the first companies that she worked for was a goal setting company. So she's the right person for this topic, and we're excited to be able to talk to her.
Cool.
So Dana, how have you liked it at Achieve Today so far?
Oh my gosh, I love this company. I love the things we have to offer, the value that's provided.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know any other personal development company, and I've worked for two others over the 10 years. I don't know any other company that's providing the coaching that we do, unlimited coaching to those that join in certain programs and have access to coaches on a regular basis. That's phenomenal. Not to mention the online platform, which is so well done.
Yeah.
The content, the information, what's provided on there. I'm really blown away at the value that's provided.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, for sure. And I'll have to agree with that. We do provide a lot.
Yes.
And it's been great as we brought in students, and they seem to enjoy it.
Yes.
So, and one thing that I've noticed with you, Dana, especially, is in the 3 months you've been here, you have brought a great energy
to
the company. I mean, every time you come in, you've got a smile on your face, and you seem to really lighten things up.
Thank you. I do have a passion for this work. I love it is, 10 years ago when I started this journey, I had this flash of inspiration, if you will, that was like, I think I want to be like a speaker, and I started like playing with the idea and it really opened the door to all these possibilities. And I found life coaching and, the personal development world transformed my life. When I first started, it was really for my own personal development, my own journey with the things I was struggling, the things I was working on in my life. I was wanting tools, tools to really understand beyond just talking about it. Talking about the things I was experiencing. I wanted like concrete ideas and tools to transform my thought patterns and how I was feeling and then my outcomes. So it really, it lit a fire in me and it's never died.
Wow.
So.
Okay. Well, and it sounds like goal setting has really been a fundamental aspect to you getting to where you are now.
Yes.
And, okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, very cool. Now, Dana, we talked even just this morning about how you feel like the goal setting process has really changed over the years. So why don't you give some insight into that, a little bit about your experience and what role goal setting has really played?
Yeah, in the beginning, goal setting was like, oh, what do I want? Like, what do I want? I want this house, or I want to run a 5K, or, all these different ideas. And I love... there's two reasons why I think goal setting is powerful. One is it allows us to stretch beyond our comfort zone. And when you stretch beyond your comfort zone, your stress zone actually becomes smaller because you're expanding yourself more and more. And when you allow your comfort zone to and you're not stretching yourself, your stress zone becomes bigger. Because you're not expanding, you're not growing, you're not putting yourself out there and stretching beyond what you already are. And so then things become more stressful. There's a lot of things that become outside of your comfort zone, and then that puts you into stress. Does that make sense?
That does make sense. Wow,
so it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
And honestly, I really do think it's in our blood. Like goal setting, wanting to reach our fullest potential, wanting to reach beyond what we already are. It's the American dream, right? It's
Absolutely.
What the whole nation was founded on. Yeah. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, right?
Yeah.
So with that, I think that it's just innate in us, in many of us. And if not, it's something that can be developed, that passion, that drive. And so in the beginning, goal setting was like, what do I want outside of me and what do I want to achieve? And it was about achieving the end result, right?
Yeah.
And that's really what it came down to for me. And, over the years, it's really evolved into the purpose and reason for a goal now is who I become in the process. Because I am a true believer that you first, in order to have the things that you want, you get to do what that kind of person does, right? Well, before that, you get to be that. You get to have all of those things in alignment within yourself to then allow that to do those things that that person does, and then to have. So be, do, and then have, right? Yeah. So the whole point of a goal is to really stretch myself and who I become in the process. So the idea of something outside of me, the achievement of that isn't as important to me. It's something to strive for, something that shows me the things within me that are calling for love and healing, that are not in alignment with that thing, but it's not about the achievement of it, it's about me.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, and that's I would think that brings probably more motivation to the goal itself.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's like this ever evolving, joyful experience of understanding who I am, understanding more about myself, you know?
Yeah.
And for those people listening, if you're just starting into goal setting, great. Set some goals outside your comfort zone, stretch that. You could look up SMART goals. That's a great way to set goals. But really in the process, as you get to know yourself more and more, and we can get into more details on that,
yeah.
But my way of goal setting now is completely different. It's really changed and evolved, and I have a really clear process with it now. It's actually really enjoyable because I know who I am and I know where I want to go with the next steps of who I want to become.
Yeah. Well, let's get into that. Cool. What is your process?
So the process of goal setting really is being clear on what I don't want and what I do want in my life, right? Okay. What area of my life do I want to take to the next level? What area do I want to focus on? Okay. And I kind of like to think it as in like 90-day increments, like the next 90 days, what do I want for my life? It's pretty easy for people to, I think sometimes it's easier for some to see the big picture, the big goals, yeah. But then you can get lost.
Yeah.
So it's great to have that big long-term goal, but like, what is it in the next 90 days? What are you going to do to take steps in that direction in the next 90 days? So once I know and I'm clear on that area, then I put it through kind of a filtering system. I'm clear on my mission and purpose, who I be, and what I do with who I be. So who I be joy, hope, and love. I just think that that's who I be. That's the presence I hold. You know, when I walk in a room, it's like, that's what I bring to the room, you know, is those qualities, that light you were talking about, that energy, right? So I'm clear on that. It has nothing to do with what I do, right? Who I be. Well, what I do with that, what I feel inspired and what I've learned over the years as I've gotten to know myself and become familiar with my passions and the things that drive me, is I'm here to teach, uplift, and inspire. So that's my filtering system. Also joy. Joy is another, it's like another filter with that. Is it in alignment with my mission and purpose? Yeah. And do I want to experience it? And is there going to be joy with it? And joy really is a choice, but I like to add in a lot of fun. Sometimes I think we get caught up in goals have to be hard and always expanding ourselves, but sometimes it's nice just to set a fun goal, to have fun in life, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
We can get so caught up in improving and growing, and we miss out on the joy. So that's my filtering system. So once it passes that, is it in alignment with who I be, what I'm choosing to do with my life, and joy? Yes. Great. So now I get real clear what I want, what I don't want. And then from there, it's about getting in alignment inside. This is the fascinating thing. So we think of these goals, and when we're setting this goal, we're thinking of all the good things. Most people, all they're focusing on is, I'm going to get that, how you're going to feel when you get that. And what people, I think, misinterpret and allow to stop them is the obstacles. Like, obstacles are part of goal setting. Failure is part of goal setting. It's part of the journey to success. Yeah. So becoming curious about it and learning from it. But to me, those obstacles, those blocks, those doubts, the fears, the all those limiting beliefs that can come up when you set goals, I now actually get really excited when they come up because of this.
Interesting.
Because I know that those things, the only reason why those things are coming up is because those are the things I'm holding on to, the ideas about myself that are out of alignment with my end goal. It means nothing about me. It's an experience I'm having. It's those things I'm holding on to. And so as I can look at it as, yes, like all of these things are coming up and out. They're calling for love. They're ready to be healed. And those are the things that are out of alignment. Okay, let's put back what's in alignment.
Yeah.
What's the truth about me? What do I want to believe about myself? Who do I want to become? And I get to choose. And so it becomes a really empowering experience. Those obstacles, those limiting beliefs, they don't stop me anymore because I'm lovingly curious.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, I get to choose. And yes, all those things that are out of alignment are leaving. And now I get to choose what I want to believe about myself. And as I get those things in alignment from that centered place, then inspired action. And this is really, really important. This is probably one of the most important parts. Inspired, aligned action. Because oftentimes in our world, we're just focused on do, go, go, go. It's like the action, action, action. It's important. But we can waste so much energy doing things that out of scarcity because we have a fear we're not going to get our goal, or pushing ourselves because we feel like we have to achieve that goal because it would mean something about us if we fail.
Yeah.
And there's so much energy wasted. But if every day you can get in alignment and feel aligned with that goal, and then say, what's my next inspired action towards that? Then you're in a centered place, taking action from that place of abundance, knowing that that's yours, that it's coming your way. And it's evolved over the years for me to, it's really harnessing your energy towards being centered and aligned and taking action. So, yeah.
What are some practical ways to get aligned? Like, how do you know that you are aligned?
Yeah. So, first of all, I think it's really important to the practice and the study of emotional intelligence.
Interesting.
I think that that's probably one of the most important things for me that has transformed my journey. Understanding that my emotions, what I'm experiencing, means nothing about me. It's an experience I'm having. Not judging the emotions, not judging when I'm feeling negative. Oftentimes, in the world of personal development, we can be like, what you focus on grows. Don't feel negative emotions. Yeah. That's not reality.
Yeah.
That's just not it. It's part of the human experience. When you can come to that place of acceptance for those emotions and that you decide where those emotions go. Just because I'm feeling negative emotions doesn't mean it's going towards my goal.
Yeah.
No, I'm feeling it and I'm letting it go. And I'm saying, I'm not creating anything with this. I get to experience this in this moment, this doubt or this fear, and you become the observer. And I think that that's been probably one of the most powerful things. I don't fear negative emotions anymore. I allow them and I tell them where they get to go. I tell them what they get to do, and becoming the observer, they usually let go of me.
Wow.
And it's really cool. So that, stepping into that space of allowing that and that emotional intelligence, how does that equate to being aligned? Well, all of those things that aren't you, that you're experiencing, that you're feeling, that those fears, those doubts, if you can let those go, address those, write it out, do write and burn. That's a common practice. Writing it out, burning it, writing out, ripping it up. But addressing them.
Burn it.
Literally.
Wow.
The reason why I love burn, write and burn, it does something for me. Like when I have a lot of emotions, doubts and fears towards a certain goal or certain thing, if I can write it out and then burn it with the intention of I'm letting it go, if it ever comes back again, it's like I anchored it in. Like, oh no, I burned that. Like, no, that's not part of my world anymore. Like, yeah. And it's telling my brain, like, that's not what we're doing anymore. That's not what we're stepping into. We burn that, remember? And it's feeding that picture because the subconscious mind where those programs are held sees in pictures. Yeah. Doesn't know the difference between what's real and what's not, right? Yeah. Well, I literally burned that. And so I'm feeding that picture constantly to my subconscious. And so it's saying we're letting that go. And what's happened over the years is that's accurate. It's worked for me. I've had some really
seen transformation in beliefs that used to be so triggering. I don't experience that with those certain beliefs anymore.
Wow.
So
you're saying literally write it down, write your negative emotions down.
Yes.
Go outside, light it on fire.
Yes.
Wow.
And these are
Cool.
like, there's the two parts, and I get this a lot with students.
Yeah.
They're like, I know that these fears aren't true. Of course. Like, yeah, but they're there.
Yep.
They're there. They're the underlining those fears. So really allow yourself to get into it when you're writing. What are my biggest fears with not achieving this goal? What if I don't get it? Challenge those thoughts. Challenge those ideas. What would it mean about me if I don't get my goal? That's one of my favorite questions. Or when something pops up, like a perceived failure pops up, then it's like, what do I feel like this means about me? And it's going within and asking those questions and being willing to really look, to really feel that and experience it, writing it down, challenging it. Is that true? Is the opposite of that fear, is it possible that that's true? And kind of challenging that and poking holes in the concrete of that fear helps let it go. So,
interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. And probably continues to motivate you.
Yes.
As well. Like stay accountable and
yeah. So once you start working on letting those go, then it's easier to be in a neutral space with your goal. Yeah. It's easier to say, what do I want to believe about me? And so being aligned to me is part of it, is working on letting those things go. What I think defines me, or those fears, doubts, feelings and emotions, limiting beliefs. And then bringing in what I want. Anchoring in, and with repetition and emotion, which I love power poses. I talk to myself in the mirror. I'll talk to myself in the car, like you got this, Dana. You're doing awesome, And I'll tell myself consistently, because I know that repetition, what it's doing in my brain, it's rewiring, making new neural pathways for what I do want. And the cool thing is, been doing this for 10 years. It works. Wow. It works. The reality of how I feel about myself now is so different than what I did then. Yeah. It's working, and it's a true principle for me. And if it is for me, it is for you or anybody watching. We're no different. We're the same. You can do it too if I can do it, right?
Yep.
Totally.
For sure.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Well, that is cool. So, because I've heard a lot of people. The New Year's resolution, yes. Right? This is a huge area of the goal setting world.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's somewhere 60, 70%, an absurdly high number of people set goals. 2 weeks later,
right,
they failed at them already. So how does someone know that they're truly, aligned?
Right.
But then also, how do they know that they're setting that goal with real intent, real motivation behind it, that it's not something that they're trying to fake in front of someone?
Yeah.
How do they know it's for them?
Yeah. So how do you know that you're aligned? Well, you're in a space where you're consistently feeling those positive emotions towards your goal.
Okay.
Consistently on a regular basis, able to cultivate those emotions and those thoughts of that goal coming into your life. I like to see it almost like in a bubble. I'm such a visual person.
Oh,
which
yeah.
is how I work, which is
it.
Great for the subconscious mind. It's such a gift. But seeing that goal in a bubble, seeing it written or seeing visuals of it and seeing it coming to me. I think that that's one of the most powerful things for me that I really enjoy, and keeping my emotions in alignment with that. So, and I like to have fun with it. Honestly, I love singing in the car, jamming out. So oftentimes I'll put on my favorite, most empowering music. And when you're like really feeling the music and you can feel that joy, that power from the music. Do you ever experience that?
Yeah. Oh yeah,
okay.
Absolutely.
So I put that energy, I see that going towards the goal and expanding the bubble, making it bigger, right?
I like that.
And it's like, that's me saying I'm intentionally putting this joy, this positive energy towards that. So you can take it from anywhere and put it towards that goal. And then it keeps growing, and I bring it in, I welcome it in, I'm open to receive it. So to me, that's what alignment looks and feels like. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Is that kind of a little more concrete?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
So the other question.
How does someone know of that they're truly, and it might be a similar answer to what you just gave. How does someone know that set it with the right intent?
Right.
How do they know that that goal is for them personally?
Yeah, I think it goes back to the filters that I have of like, is it alignment with who I be? Is it in alignment with my mission?
Yeah.
And is there joy? So those are like my qualifiers for me. And so, getting clear on who you be, what you're here for, your purpose. And for me, joy, the pursuit of happiness. Happiness is another word that people use. I like joy. There's another level of, it's like taking happiness to the next level for me.
Yeah,
so
joy is another level.
I love that word.
Absolutely.
So it really resonates with me.
So those three things, just so we can be clear.
Yes. Mission, purpose, joy. Yeah.
Okay.
Those are the qualifiers. For me. And you get to find your own, what's your mission? What's your purpose? And at the end of your life, this is how I came up with joy. At the end of my life, what did I want most of my life to be consistent with? Well, joy. Like, I want to look back at my life and be like, wow, that was the most joy-filled, fulfilling, magical life.
Yeah.
I'm proud of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why it's like, now I don't want to live that one day. It's like, no, right now.
Yeah.
Right now.
Now, are you, with these goals that you've set, are you reviewing them on a monthly basis, daily basis?
Yeah.
How often should you be looking at your goals and saying, okay, am I aligned?
I think every day being aligned.
Every day.
And that's why, we talk about vision boards. I think vision boards are awesome. But remember, if your energy is scattered to 10 different things, you're going to be scattered with your inspired action and what you're doing. That's why I like to really anchor it in on focus on one. And the momentum of that, the achievement of that will spread into the next one and the next one, right?
Yeah.
So focus in on what area of your life do you want to improve on, and just focus in 90 days on that, right?
90 days.
And look, really it brings up into 4 quarters in a year, right?
Yeah.
So it makes it really easy to be like, okay, so I'm going to focus on money, health, relationships, and my confidence, personal power. Those are great areas.
Yeah.
Pretty much covers everything. And you can get them all in a year.
That's true.
How cool is that?
That is true. Well, I like that because I think when you set New Year's resolutions, it's oftentimes, I'm going to do this the entire year.
Right.
And that can be tough to like keep the motivation with. But if you're checking in on yourself every 90 days, it seems a little bit more attainable.
Absolutely. And the thing with that is I think it's important to check in with where you're at with something.
Yeah.
And oftentimes we can overcommit, especially around January for some reason. There's this energy in the air of I'm going to do this all year long, right?
Yeah.
No, it's like, what's your next step with that? Don't go to overcommitment, because then you're setting yourself up for failure.
Right.
You want to stretch yourself, but not to the point where you're going to set yourself up for, okay, I've only exercised 1 day a week. I'm going to do it every single day of the week. No, that's probably not going to be consistent for yourself.
Yeah.
So let's bump it up to 2 or 3 days. And then from there, you can always bump it up.
Yeah.
Like, there's no hurt in that, right?
Yeah.
But set yourself up for a stretch, but be consistent, an ability to be consistent with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Now, are you writing these goals down? And okay.
I think there's so much power in writing it down. I like visuals.
Yeah.
So like, I've even taken goals, and I really love painting and art and creativity. I think creativity adds to the creation of our goals anyways.
Yeah.
So I'll watercolor it.
Oh, cool.
If I have some time, every year I'll do a painting. I have a 1-word focus of the year, and I'll do a painting for it. So, make it yours, but to have a consistent understanding of what you're focusing on, to take your brain back to that place of, this is my focus.
Yeah.
Gosh,
I love that.
Yeah.
Brings more of the mindset into it.
Right.
Rather than just, I think in goal setting, we learn, okay, you got to write this down, write this down.
Right.
So,
And I want to add one more thing.
Yeah.
Reminding everyone that it's about who you become. So it's cool to have the goal, right?
Yep.
It's cool. Like, I want to double my income this year. Great. Double your income. Why? Like, what do you want to experience? What do you want to feel? Who do you want to become in that? Different people will have different answers to that. Money, maybe they want to experience more freedom. Maybe they want to experience success, the feeling of success. And so understanding and knowing what you want to experience and what that will bring for you and who you want to become in it, I think is the focus for me. like focusing on cultivating those emotions in my life on a daily basis.
Wow.
Like really honing in on that.
Yeah.
Like to me, it's like, that's what brings a goal into success, into fruition, is focusing in and living in that space of becoming and being that. And the byproduct is the goal, right?
Yeah.
Because that's the overreaching umbrella of like what I want, that or better.
Yeah.
So I like to keep that, letting the universe provide something better. But ultimately, the focus is who I'm becoming.
That's
So.
cool. Well, that takes away the attachment.
Yeah,
goal too,
it totally does.
which is cool.
Yes, most people don't catch on to that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
It absolutely does.
Yeah,
it
just makes it, you love the process more than the actual.
Join the journey.
Join the journey.
Right?
I absolutely agree with you on that. So
I love it.
Well, good. We've got about 4 minutes left. So I want to ask you, what's your most favorite goal that you've ever set?
Yeah.
And how'd you accomplish it?
Yeah. So I've been thinking about this, and I've set a lot of goals over the years. And this one, though, is the one that keeps coming to mind. And I did a 90-day goal, and I was wanting to really challenge my beliefs and ideas about my body. So there's obesity and emotional eating that runs in my family.
Okay.
And so I decided it felt right for me to do 90 days of vegan lifestyle. So it was a complete switch for me. It was like anything and everything went, and then vegan.
Jeez.
And when it came down to it, when I really started digging why do I want that? What do I want to experience? It was about integrity for me, being a woman of integrity. And the coolest thing happened for me. There's this shift that kept me on track and kept me accountable. Every night it was this commitment that I wanted to feel and experience at the end of the night when I went to bed, that I was a woman of integrity. And every night I did. Every single night.
That is so cool.
And it was like this fire was lit in me, and my confidence was built. And I now have this super solid foundation that I am a woman of integrity.
Wow.
And so I think that was probably one of my favorite ones that resulted in who I became, and what I learned about myself was profound. It was transformational for me.
Wow. I love that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, here we are, a living, breathing example of goal setting. Dana is awesome. Thank you for being on the show today.
Thanks for having me.
For sure. If you'd like to learn more about Dana, go to achievetoday.com/coaches. There's a section where you can learn a little bit about her history and her past. And then also, if you'd like to work with Dana or potentially work with one of the coaches at Achieve Today, go to achievetoday.com and fill out the consultation. You'll get a 45-minute session with one of our representatives here, experts who can really clarify your goals, get you to a place of clarity in your entire life. And we'll go over the different areas and potentially pair you up with someone like Dana or someone similar who really knows what they're talking about, really can guide you to a better place of understanding, removing your limiting beliefs, and achieving your greatest potential. So that wraps up the podcast. Thanks for joining, and we'll see you next week.